You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Alright, good evening. It sucks to have to go back to one of these tips from the other one that hadn't come in yet. Is what's so bad about these? It's my Heiko. Uh, what's so bad about these is if it's set at 700 degrees, it pretty much stays at 700 degrees. The other ones cool down when you ain't using it. And then when you pick it up off the stand, it goes back to the temperature and it goes up really quick. That's the good thing about them. And it don't sit there and just burn a tip up on them. This amp is working with these in it. Like I was on a video somewhere. It's working with these in it. And sometimes I like to test them with some used transistors before I go back with new ones. I mean, it's running pretty good with these. It's putting out 600 watts with these used ones. And these, one of them's about a 7 HFE and the other one's a 4. So, keeping them in there. I'm going to go back with brand new ones. I only got 4 left. I have to order me some. I just barely tacked these in here the other day. And it's still going to be a bitch to get out. Like always. I only got this thing set on 700 degrees. I mean, it could do better and faster if I turned it up, but if I let it set there, it'll just burn the tip off of it, because sure enough I'll forget. That's the only thing wrong with these Hakos. If they would make them where which the hell, you can't ask too much for $100 anyways. For $100 is the best thing out there. That little iron that Fat Boy's got's a really good one too. And I think at the point in time they was 50. I don't know what they are now. Probably 100. And these right here are probably 150. Everything's done went way up since that Joe Biden got in there. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's the damn truth. Everything has went up. It is crazy. Food, the same food. The same thing. We got a kind of a routine. What food to buy every month. And it still went way up. It still went up about right at $90. $90 different than what it was when Trump was in there. It's back to about, it's within, it's $20 higher than when Obama was in there. George W. Bush, I didn't like it so much either. He was just as bad. I don't know, I know people talk shit about him, but I don't know. Old Dirty Bill, I don't know. I thought it was alright on him for saying certain things. It was pretty much livable. It gets me about this land. It don't nobody know about it. I mean, unless you completely look for it. They buy farms. Comes to find out, you know, Bill Gates has done bought the damn thing. Even here locally in little old stupid Reidsville, North Carolina. A friend of mine put his house up for sale, and it was $280,000 house and land. It was in town. Put it up for sale, and had a few offers. Local people wanting to buy it, and then all of a sudden, somebody came in and it was through with the bank and said, we'll pay you pretty much double what you asking for it if you'll just sell it to us, and you'll sell it to us now. Well, hell, he thought it was a scam. And his bank thought it was a scam. But they looked into it and it wasn't. And he sold it to them. But hell, he didn't know who it was. And come to find out it was something like that Blackwater, but under a different name. And if y'all don't know what that is, that's like Bill Gates, this stuff, buying stuff under companies, getting it. But the thing about that is, okay, they buying that land and ain't nobody living on it. And they ain't doing anything with it. It's just sitting there. And then they go out here and they push plant-based foods for plant-based meat and stuff. And now they pushing this bug shit on us. Wanting us to eat bugs. I don't know. Makes you think. That torch was just to eat the cotton up. They got stuck in there. Let me tell you, look, you need to buy an electric car. Alright, you buy an electric car. And if everybody had them and you went up to all these, and they said, well, we're going to put in more charging stations. Okay? They put in more charging stations. You know how many cars you got on the road per day? And how many charging stations you going to really need? They said, well, you know, it's going to be like gas pumps. Well, you going to have gas pumps plus them? Just think of the real estate of damn stores going to have to take up. Like your little convenience store down here, and they have charging stations for it. Just think how much expansion that's going to get. And then you say, well, that's a good thing. Well, yeah, it could be. I don't think we're ready for it yet. But you take all your mechanics for gasoline and diesel and propane and all this stuff, they're going to be gone. No more of them. Parts dealerships, no more of them. Parts warehouses, no more of them. You take like these electric cars, you go now and you try to look for parts. I got a friend of mine who works at AutoZone. And I asked him, I said, how many parts do you actually carry for Tesla? And he puts it in the computer. He's like headlights and bulbs and stuff like that. But other than that, other than maybe buying a tire or some windshield wiper fluid or this, that, and the other, you can't even buy that alternator for that car there. At least that's what he told me. I don't know. It's just going to be a big void. The way I see it. I don't know. I hope that things work out. But it's kind of funny that they done fired all these people that work for Ford. 3,000 people just the other day. Fired 3,000 people because they're moving to EV. And then they said, well, look, EVs, you could buy one a month ago for $40,000, say a truck, the EV truck. And now they're saying they're going to give you $4,000 or $40,000. Well, they went from like 50,000 up to 70,000. They're 70,000 now. So whatever the incentive they gonna give you to buy one, they done already took it. They done raised the price of it up and took it back. It's like, okay, so this screwdriver's worth $3, but it's gonna come in demand. I'm gonna ask $5 for it now. But I say, look, it was $3. I'm gonna give you a $2 incentive. You still paying the $5. And they said, well, it ain't no road tax on an electric car. Bullshit. I tell you, that air compressor has worked flawless. It's the thermal switch on it. I mean the compressor switch on it. It's worked flawless with the old one on it. The one was made years ago. That came on it. Worked flawless for years. I've been had that thing now for about 4 years. And it was used then when I got it. Old Hondo gave it to me. Worked flawless. Now I done put a brand new one on it. This is the second one, and it's still, but it sits outside. So, but the other one worked when it was outside. It's got a cap over it, and it's covered up, but it does get moisture in it, I guess. But hell, anything out, even if it was under a building, it would get some kind of moisture in it. I don't know. You better be thinking about what's going to go on in this country. If what's going to be shut down. I mean, I know they're going to make it hard to get gas, diesel, kerosene, propane. And I grew up farming my whole life. Farming something one way, shape. I even got somebody grows trees on the farm here now. Grows like Bradford pears, China clears, just decorative trees with no fruit. It ain't supposed to bear fruit, but I got a couple cherry trees out here that bear fruit. But the way they do that is they take like a pear tree and chop it off and draft it over onto like a pine base of a tree, some kind of tree that don't bear fruit. But how's the tractors gonna run? How's the equipment gonna run? They're gonna switch it over to electric, and then hell, you can't even afford the ones that's diesel now. And then they got all this damn diff fluid and all this shit they gotta run now, and they gotta sit there and regenerate. It's crazy. That's a boy down the road here got a brand new John Deere tractor. Brand freaking new. And that thing regenerates more than it does and updates more than it runs. You crank it up, it's like you have to set that, it comes up on the screen. Needs to update. Needs to update. You let it update, and then it'll want you to set that and want it to set. I know they got the trucks pretty much worked out decently where they regenerate going down the road, but his tractor won't. You can't work with it, especially not. I mean, I expect you can pull a trailer. It'll move on its own power, but it won't, for say, it's pull anything. Pretty high amounts of torque out. He's got a few older John Deeres, and the bull gears in it is aluminum, and they're aluminum and steel. And as far as I know, all the things I've worked on, you take like aluminum, they'll run together. But you take it like aluminum and steel, they won't. I tell you, when my little tractor to motor yard went down the other day because of the injector being stopped up, which I can't complain. I've not ever had to clean an injector before. On that size tractor, that's a little 30. Actually, it's 28 horsepower. They claim it's 32 at PTO. Drawbar, which is a hitch. It's 28, so I call it 28. Because PTO don't really pull anything other than like a mower deck or, something on PTO shaft that ain't real powerful as pulling a turning plier, a disc harrow, a bush hoe. But they're going to have to make it hard to get fuel. And then if they don't make it hard to get fuel, what they're going to do is hit you with regulations on carbon emissions and carbon tax and all this shit. And then if you don't, they'll estimate your carbon tax like it will your electric bill. They'll come out here and put some kind of machine on it and say it emits so much carbon and you got to pay this tax on it just to run it. So yeah, they're gonna hit you with that shit. And you take it when people can't afford to eat. It's gonna get rough because they gonna eat. Once a good man, you put him in a hard place. That once good man you knew ain't gonna be such a good a man when he gets hungry. But what I'm saying about that is he'll come get your food. You say, oh, I'm trust old Rick, John, Fred, Frank, Phil. You let them get hungry. You let their family get hungry. I seen the other day, there was a girl in, I ain't sure exactly where it was at. You can look it up on Google. But it was a girl got mad because her french fries was cold at McDonald's. And gets mad at the manager. And I guess the manager said something to her. And she didn't like it. And she went outside and got her son. And her son come in and shot the guy and killed him. I think. I'm pretty sure it did. All over some cold french fries. If he'll shoot your ass over some cold french fries, just think we had, if that belly gets to growling. You just think about that. Cold French fries, all it was. You know how simple that could have been fixed. That guy wasn't had to die. That boy wasn't had to go to jail. It could have been fixed so easy. And you see Nancy Pelosi's husband, he wrecked his Porsche driving drunk, which if you don't watch Fox News, you ain't gonna see it. He hit that guy, a Mexican guy, didn't speak English. They didn't release the footage of it out now. And Jesse Waters on Fox is giving him hell of it. But he ought to. They done already tried him. You think if it would have been us without millions, he's worth millions because they insider trading off of Nancy Pelosi. If you ain't put Bunny in computer chips, you better be putting it in there. Because she just went over there in Taiwan, and computer chips are going to go way up, so get your stocks in on your computer chips. On your, the ones special for graphics cards. But anyways, he was driving drunk, hit this guy, and they done already tried him in court. Give him 4 days. 4 days. That's what they claim. Well, they said, well, 2 days of it's because when he got arrested, because he went in at when he got charged, he went in at like 11 o'clock to the police station, and he left at like 2 o'clock. So he stayed there for 4 hours, answering questions, and they waited 4 hours before they even give him a damn breathalyzer or blood test. I don't know exactly which one it was, but they waited before they gave him that, so he could sober up some, and then he was still drunk as hell. And they had him, he was taking some other kind of medicine too. They said the blood test showed that, so it had to be a blood test. Says blood test showed that he had narcotics in him that wasn't prescribed to him. So, but he already went to court, so they give him 2 days off for that. You think they would ever gave us that off? Hell no. No freaking way. No way. And then they give him a day off of it going to court. And then another day, he gonna have to check in to a parole officer, nothing like it. It only left 1 day. And hell, he didn't go to jail for that. Well, you know, when you're worth millions and millions and millions, you're going to get some kind of special treatment, but man, they used to try to cover this stuff up. Now they're just doing it. And you ever notice news reporters now don't have to actually report the news? That's something. Even you like Fox, they say, well, today in the New York Post, Why should they have to go through the New York Post? They go through their own source. That don't make no damn sense. I don't know. That just seems kind of strange. Come on. Yeah, it did. I think it's put out the pressure that it used to. I don't know. I have to go out there and look at it and spray some contact cleaner on it. Maybe that'll keep it from arcing so bad. I might have to put a set of relays on it that something on it that don't that'll withstand the outside temperatures, or outside, being outside. So I'm planning on building a building over top of it. I don't hear it leaking air anywhere, but it's got to be having a leak somewhere because it has to pump completely all the way up and keep up with these four good test pills. Alright. Put some new 104s on it. New transistors in it. The variable, had to put a new variable in it. I got the meter, but I had to put a new meter in it, got it working. New key up circuit, new cap here, new cap there. New B plus line here, new B plus line there. This was so close, I just left that one on there. Fixed a few spots on it. Got the bias voltage right. Changed these, they got 107s in them or something. I put 105s, which some of them equal up to about 107. It'll be 105, 106, well, it could be 104, 103, but I've never had one that was a blow that I've checked. I need to get some more of them. But they're pretty much right at a 1.5, 1.6, or 1.7 for the bias, and this one, that one, and then this one down here, I checked that one. Well, let's plug it up, see what it does. I don't think I got no knob for that. I got one of these other little knobs for a radio. Let's see if it'll work. That's the power hooked up. That's one slug. Might as well put that in peak. Let's see what we got. So get all them in frame. 1,000-watt slug right here. That's 50 reflect back from antenna, and 5-watt slug in reverse. Let's see what talk through is. Hello, hello, hello. Talk through is perfect. Turn the power on. Oh, oh, a little over 600. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, hello, hello. So yeah. Oh, hello, oh. Mid on the front's working. Sideband delay. Not doing shit. Is that actually the sideband delay over there? Or is that dial-a-watt? Oh, oh, oh. Preamp's working. Dial-a-watt's working. Oh, oh. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Oh, oh, oh. Alright. I forgot why this sideband delay ain't working. It's probably in the damn switch. The sideband delay. Alright, we're back on this thing, and I've been over here trying to figure out what was wrong with it, and it's the sideband delay wasn't working on it, and I got two different kinds of cleaner. One is Lucas, one is CRC cleaner. And I sprayed that switch with it, and she's come back to working. I've worked it and sprayed it, worked it and sprayed it, worked it and sprayed it. Changed these output caps on it. Trying to get the reflect from the antenna down a little bit. And I think that helped a little bit. But then again, I'm running on the antenna. I mean, it's going to show a little bit. You can change the jumpers around a little bit and get it down. But a little bit more. But I retuned it. Retuned the output on it. The input of it's perfect. You ain't gonna get no better than that. The input of it is phenomenal. It's really good. But yeah, so everything's been changed on this thing. I don't know if I've been in this thing before, but it looks like some resistors that I put in it. I don't know. I didn't ask him. I texted him last night and asked him did he want me to fix it before I was put new transistors in it because the other two was out. He will get his back. So 2 of these are good and two of them are bad. Now, it's up to you to do what you want to with that. I'm not going to leave them there. I'll put them on the outside of it so you don't have to take the top back off of it. But don't be putting no long screws in here, especially right here. You put a long screw there, you hit that board, that trace right there, and you'll pop that and you'll mess up the whole board. So don't even do that. I'm going to go up to a number 8 or a number 10, whatever, with thread in here. And I got some little short number 10s. And probably put number 10s in there. But it's got a power wire upgrade done to it. Some 104s here and here. Changed this output cap. Input cap, changed it a little bit. I've had the board out. Changed this. That was funky the way they had that. It wasn't much different than what it is now. It put out a little bit more watts the way they had it, or whoever had it, versus the way I got it now. It's the way the book calls for it to be. But they had some pretty much 1.4s here and here to let a little bit more through, and it will. It'll do a little bit more. And then this resistor here and over here. It's straight went across it, but that's the way the book calls for it. In this book you can't go with everything, but that's the way it shows it. Some of these things ain't right, like some of the values they say it ain't right. The sideband delay, it ain't quite as much as I like it, but it ain't really a whole lot that I know of you can do about it. I've tried putting a little bit more here, and it kind of helps it, but it kind of don't. It's got a little sideband delay, and that's what it's supposed to have. About a half of 1,000. You know, 1,000, 2 1,000. You know, it's about a half of 1,000. Alright. That's without. Just as soon as you click it with it. Oh. 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 Ain't got no carrier, so you have to say something to it. That's the sideband delay. Get it where it's square a little bit. It's got a little sideband delay in there. That's with it. That's without it. Got a little bit. Oh, now the sideband works. It was in the switch. It's sideband on. Oh, that's without sideband. Oh, reflect looks really good. Oh, and that reflect is working. I'm putting, oh, about 5 watts RMS into it. Oh, oh, oh. So it's working. The dial watt. Oh, oh. That switch is a little different than I used to have. This is one of the new switches, not the old ones. These suck compared to the other ones. The little blue ones was way better than this one, the older type. These new ones, which is like this. This is the new ones they put in them. It's not as good as the old ones. The old ones was better. This one, it kind of falls out. It ain't quite as smooth and lateral as the other one used to be. But I don't know. Don't use it with that anyways. Use the variable on the radio. Dead key about 100 watts. And let it swing out the rest of it. Dead key 100. The way you set this up, you turn your radio on, turn your variable power all the way down, and do run a variable power. Do not, it's not a high drive radio. I mean amp. It's got the driver built in it, not a high drive. Run it with a Cobra 29 with like a variable on it, or a Cobra, or a Galaxy, or something that's low power, about 30 watts or so, not no power monster. And dead key it low, and then watch your watt meter and turn your variable power up till you get about 100 watts. Swing, just like this. Use your variable key to get about 100. Oh, audio. Hello. 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 And let it swing. So with that, this is the reflect. I'm putting about probably a half a watt or so in it. No, I actually put about 1.5 watts. Audio. Audio. Mic gains down so it don't squeal, but that's what it's dedicated. About 1.5 watts into it. So, yeah. Just watch what you're doing. And this thing should last you a long time. It's doing really good. It's building up a little heat, but it ain't too bad. That right there is good, pretty cool. It's a little warm right down in a few fins in the middle. And a few fins right through here, you can feel the heat on them a little bit. On the outside of it ain't so much yet, but it'll spread out. But you'll get your transistors back, so it's a new meter. I had a knob I put on it. But everything's working on it. Preamp. About a 2 dB gain. Oh yeah. That thing's about 2 or 3 dB gain on it. So yeah, it's working. Alright. I'm gonna call it done. Everything's working on it like it should do. Now, the only thing is the relay on the. I would like a little bit more, but I think it's got more to do with this switch than it has anything. Everything else is right. That's a 1,000. I try adding another 1,000, and of course it holds it open longer. But then again, it holds it open longer when you switches off too. Not quite as much, but Nick Fanac, I guess. But there you go. I'm rambling on. I've been up a long time. I've been up since like 3 o'clock this morning, and it's right at 2 o'clock this evening. So, alright then. You have a good day. Later.